Guys, welcome to Midnight Screaming. My name is Melanie, and last night I went and saw the movie Maxine, directed by Ty West. This is the third installment of his X trilogy. It stars Mia Goth, Kevin Bacon, Halsey, Lily Collins, many more. This film takes place a couple years after the events in X. Maxine is now in her 30s. She has become a very successful adult film star, but she's trying to make it in kind of the more mainstream movies now. At the beginning of the film, you see her get a role in a horror movie. She's very excited to kind of break out of the adult film industry. But as she's preparing for this role, people around her start to get murdered. This is during the 80s when the Night Stalker killings were going on. She also gets a mysterious videotape and some messages from someone who wants to speak with her. While she's trying to make a good impression and do well in this film, she is trying to also figure out who is responsible for these murders, what's going on, who wants to talk to me, who wants to see me, who knows my secret. I really enjoyed this film, but I kind of thought X and Pearl were superior films. I kind of went in with really high expectations though, so I think that's kind of on me. I would kind of rank the movies probably like, I don't know, X, Pearl, and then Maxine. I really enjoyed the other films in this trilogy, but Maxine was still very enjoyable. I think Ty West did such a good job building up these characters. Every single movie is just so unique. One thing I really enjoyed about Maxine is that it really put you into the world of kind of like the gritty 80s Hollywood, LA scene at the time. The soundtrack really builds the world up. They just did a really wonderful job kind of immersing the viewer into the landscape of the time. I think they did that really well with X as well. X, you know, you really felt like that 70s slasher, Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes, and Pearl was great, like that old Hollywood time in the late 1910s, 1920s. Ty West did just such a wonderful job helping the viewer just feel completely immersed in every single film he's done. So kind of the pros and cons of Maxine, I'll start with the cons. The first 2/3 of the film are really strong. The last third of the film kind of was a little anticlimactic. I think they could have maybe tied it up a little bit better. I personally kind of had a suspicion of who the killer was kind of halfway through the film. It wasn't super predictable, but it was predictable enough to where you kind of have an inkling of what's happening. Another thing that I've seen other people criticize, which I had to agree, there were far too many flashbacks in this film. I felt like there were a lot of flashbacks to Pearl. Maxine was clearly, you know, obviously PTSD, dealing with the traumatic events of X. So, you know, you're constantly kind of getting a little bit of Pearl in there, which understandable. But there was also a moment in the film, kind of in the second half of the movie, where you got a flashback of some things that had just kind of happened not too long ago in the movie. So it kind of made me feel like, okay, we were there, we've been watching this film, so I don't think we needed that flashback, maybe. I don't know. But that was like, those are the main just negatives. The pros, Mia Goth is fantastic. She did such a wonderful job in all three of these films. I already mentioned the ambiance of the film really like puts you in there. All the other actors did a wonderful job. I think each one of them brought like so much to the table. You really cared about these characters. Kevin Bacon brought a lot to his role as this kind of nasty private investigator. There was enough gore in there to kind of satisfy some horror movie fans. This is really kind of more of like a true crime vibes. I'd probably give this film a 7.5 out of 10. I really did enjoy it, and I think maybe if I had gone in maybe with a little bit lower expectations, I would have been more pleased with the film. I just had such high expectations because X and Pearl are so incredibly good, and this movie is still good. I really did enjoy it, but it wasn't quite as high as the other two. Mia Goth is perfect in this film, in all three of these films. I cannot wait to see what she does next. I really enjoyed Ty West's vision in all three of these films. I think he built this world, he built up these characters so well. But yeah, Maxine, maybe not as much as the other two, but I did really enjoy it. I had fun watching it with my friends. We just had a good time. But I would love to hear your thoughts on this film. Please feel free to leave it in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.